Look at this criminal history
Yes, sir.
right here.
Since I've been incarcerated,
How many felony offenses do you have?
sipping on poison.
Convictions. How many felony convictions? This is the fourth one. You're going to hide behind children? I mean, look at that. Putting the family assault aside, which is a terrible thing in itself, no matter how minimal it is, you don't assault someone you claim to love. I can't imagine looking into my children's eyes and making conscious choices to pull stunts like this when they're at home. 32416, the state of Texas versus Cody Caesar, who is present with his attorney, and the state's attorney is present. Mr. Franklin, you are representing this defendant, and there is a motion to revoke probation that has been filed in this case. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Tell me about what y'all are doing here. There's an agreement, I think, has been reached, or no?
Yes, sir. For 4 years penitentiary time. This is a joint recommendation.
Okay. Help me out here, since logic has a lot to do with what we do. In the pre-sentence report, of course, I have so many thousands of these cases. I have to have that to review. It's showing, and it looks like I may have checked that. I think I did, but that doesn't look like one of my check marks, but nonetheless, that the defendant was in 2010 placed on probation, deferred probation for burglary of a habitation, a home. That was revoked in 2015. He gets 10 years TDC then, right? So thereafter, we put him on regular probation, and he has a motion to revoke probation that has 10 allegations of violations here. Why? What message is this court sending that you get less punishment for this committing subsequent similar crimes and failing on probation again? That bothers me.
Yes, sir, Judge.
And I want to know, I'm curious what the state's.
A number of them were urine samples within a certain amount of time, like a couple of months' time, and that the underlying offense the new offense was a misdemeanor. Looking at it, I look at his last prison sentence, or one of his prison sentences, was 2 years and doubled it to 4. He has been in prison, I think, serving some time on some other cases. He's been to safety since this, I think. I can't remember when he went to safety, but he's that's the reasoning behind it all. Plus the nature of that new offense was a misdemeanor. So actually it should have been a misdemeanor. It was yanking a necklace off of her neck. And I've talked to the complaining witness, and she is present in the witness room here to testify today in case the judge rejects this deal, but she's okay with it. They have children together.
Go ahead, sell it to me, because I'm not convinced.
Your Honor, we have
It's just, what my concern is. Yeah, everything I do here, people use, although every case has its own merits, its own circumstances, but people want to know, are you getting less punishment for continuing to commit not only crimes, but the same kind of a crime? And a home is somebody's most valuable asset. Most of us, 99%. Most valuable thing they own is a home, which is sacred. That's why burglarizing a home is more serious of a crime than burglarizing a building that's not a habitation. But he received 10 years. He knows that we're serious about this behavior. And sure enough, here we are, another burglary of a habitation.
Your Honor, this relates back to a charge in 2019. we would like to tender to the court. We've received letters today that were written to the parole board for the original offense, which details information from maybe 6 or 7 individuals as to his character. The information here that is relevant to this specific case is that Mr. Caesar is now a father. He obtained visitation rights for his children while he was incarcerated. His children are young, very young still. They were born a year and a day apart. Since that time, he has attended.
Wait. When were the children born?
What year?
2018, 2019.
We got 10 violations since they were born. All these really? These drug possessions? And you're going to hide behind children? I mean, look at that. Putting the family assault aside, which is a terrible thing in itself, no matter how minimal it is, you don't assault someone you claim to love. That's bizarre. But April, May. I mean, we're talking about methamphetamine, Xanax, marijuana, methamphetamine, marijuana. Oh, that's being a good role model for the kids?
No.
No.
Your Honor, I was going
No.
to divorce and
There's no excuse for that, sir. You really? You got an excuse for taking illegal drugs, do you?
no, sir.
There is no excuse. You're supposed to be setting an example. If you use your children here, use them because you were setting a good example. I mean, I've got 10 violations while on this court's watch.
Yes, sir.
And you've got, look at this criminal history
Yes, sir.
right here.
Since I've been incarcerated,
How many felony offenses do you have?
sitting on force.
Convictions. How many felony convictions? This is the 4th one. Separate act. And these last ones are manufacture of a controlled substance, illegal possession of a controlled substance, illegal possession of a controlled substance.
Yes, sir.
And this was before you were put on probation. Look at you go. You're still doing that.
Your Honor,
That's what you prefer. You've decided to dance with the devil when you have a family at home.
sir, since I've been incarcerated, I've done everything
Well,
counter to.
you know what? Maybe incarceration keeps us all safe from you. Really? Because being free and having a family and responsibilities from a family didn't deter you from committing crimes? You're telling me, well, I've been in prison and so I'm committing crimes.
No, Your Honor, that is not our argument.
That's what it's, I mean, that was the English I had just understood.
If I may clarify, since he's been in prison, he's completed safety. He's completed about 5 or 6 classes through TDCJ, including anger management, classes on how to be a responsible parent, how to be a responsible adult. He completed every class that TDCJ offered. He's completed.
Okay.
And so we did provide those last time to the court as well, all those certificates. He is supported not only by his church, but also people that he has worked with who will testify that he has undergone changes in the last few years while in prison. And many of those did occur after he got visitation rights of his children. So the argument here today is that he has been incarcerated. He is serving time. He is accepting responsibility. He's also taken every possible step to take every class he can to educate himself, to reform himself, and to make better decisions, including safety and anger management. We would like to tender. These were letters written to the parole board on the other offense, but
What other offense?
the original 2014, 2015 charge. He was
The
original burglary that he's on for right now, probation for.
These were written a few months ago.
He's
and
not-
2010.
No, because he was put on probation 2020, right?
Yeah. Yes,
Here.
sir. He was.
He's talking about this prior conviction
Yeah, the
of
prior-
burglary
yeah, prior
where he was revoked from deferred
Okay.
in 2015.
So
right?
he was up for parole a few months ago, and he's asked that we provide the court with letters to the parole board because he believes they're relevant. So we'd like to tender that in evidence. I've provided copies of the state as well.
I have no objection, Chair.
All right, what is probation?
Your Honor, Mr. Caesar has actually been in custody in TDC. On May 11th of 2021, we had an administrative hearing in which Mr. Caesar was taken into custody, and he was transferred actually to GIST 7 days later on a parole violation, and he has been
Okay,
incarcerated.
that's on the parole violation.
Yes, sir. And that he has been in custody since that time.
Does everybody understand? That's a different crime.
Yes, sir.
yes, sure.
That's a different
Yes.
act.
Yes, sir.
And we're not in a position, we don't want to be in a position of, if you're going to commit a crime, commit a whole bunch of crimes because they're cheaper by the dozen. That's not the way. We're not a supermarket. You are held responsible for every violation of law, and it has its own separate punishment. Or else people would just say, if I'm going to commit a crime, I'm going to knock myself out because it all gets bundled in one package. That's not fair for each of the victims, much less the community. That means you get better treatment if you commit more wrongdoing and make more of a mess.
Your Honor, if I could continue.
You may.
Prior to Mr. Caesar's relapse in 2020, he did have the ability to perform well on probation. I will give him that credit.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
can I finish?
I want you to answer this. He was capable of it,
Yes, sir.
but yet he made a choice not to.
He did relapse. Yes, sir.
No. He made a conscious choice
Yeah.
not to follow the rules when he understood and appreciated right from wrong.
Yes, sir. When I was home, I did buy a new house. I've started LLC. I paid off all my community service. I've never missed a visit, and I paid off all my fees.
I'm sorry, everybody's supposed to do that.
Yes, sir. So,
But I'm more concerned about the crimes
yes, sir.
that you're committing on top of crimes. And that's where people are concerned. The community wants to know, who gets punished? What does it take to get punished?
So,
How would you analyze then, if you were here, the defendant under this circumstance? Especially in light of he received 10 years imprisonment for the same thing prior to committing this crime. Not talking about the state jails, but the same crime. What message do we send by walking back
No, sir. Yes, sir.
responsibility?
If the court's asking if I was in your robe,
No, everything is unique, but you
I
know what
would
the uniqueness
take-
is in here, in this case.
I
Why
would take into consideration Mr. Caesar's ability when he is clean and
How
sober
much-
to
how
do
much
that.
credit?
But obviously my recommendation would be for the revocation, and I would go also that I believe according to Odyssey, the assault case is actually set for trial next week.
What is that? What is?
The misdemeanor.
The misdemeanor.
That's the yanking the
assault.
necklace off of the complainant. That's number one in our,
I believe that's what he
The
pledged.
complainant is who? Is a relation?
it's the mother of his
It
children.
was the mother of his
children.
children. Yeah.
Well, we know where many of those cases end up going.
Yes, sir, we do.
I'm not even going to go into that one.
Yes.
That has the decisions. I take more, I put more weight in why they were filed in the first place and who was behind the filing in the first place. Because too often we know what's happening where the defendant comes back and pleads for forgiveness. And makes everybody else feel guilty about making a complaint, which is not fair. That's generally what's happening here. Because that's the kind of case that is most often requested to be dropped of all cases filed of family assaults. Is that just unique? Is that just like we keep hitting lottery over and over again? No, it defies logic because we know it is logic. There's behind the scenes going on that causes people to feel guilty about what the real guilty person did, which is not fair to them. But I've already seen as a family man, sir, what you've shown. You had a family at home. I have a family. I can't imagine looking into my children's eyes and making conscious choices to pull stunts like this when they're at home, relying on me as a role model, as a provider, as a parent. You failed on that.
Yes, sir.
Asking. Which is back in July or something, 21, yeah. That's pretty.
Yeah, one.
We've got that, but we issued the MTRP warrant.
Yeah.
He was in TDC at that time, so
So-
we had the hold from 21.
July 21, probation's got emails from them saying they confirmed the detainer on him in July of 21.
So that means he's getting credit
Yes,
from 2021,
Yes, sir.
which is how long now?
Get into Odyssey.
When in 2021,
July.
would you say?
It would be July 19th is the date that, we received an email from TDCJ, confirming that the detainer wasn't in place on Mr. Caesar.
They didn't close it until he got here.
Is this 114 days including that detainer hold?
No, that's without it.
Okay, so we're looking at 2 years and 6 months plus 114 days,
Yes, sir. Yes.
right?
Sounds right, Judge.
Judge, I previously sent a DPS search over to Lacey because we knew there was issues with
Here,
calculations
is
that
this,
time.
whose is this? I've read that.
Is this, Judge, we were trying to tender it into evidence.
You want it for this hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mark it,
Mr.
as an exhibit, please. So, from probation, your request, your recommendation, Ms. LeBlanc would be what?
Would be revocation.
Yeah, okay, and there's an offer for disposing of this in 4 years, for 4 years. You're close to him. What do you think? Is that?
I would consider that a fair offer compared to what the original offer was.
I don't understand. What was the original?
Two.
Oh. No, the minimum, yes. Okay, so this is, defendant's exhibit is received. Eight pages, made a part of the record for this hearing. And anybody else want to be heard?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I'm going, does the defendant waive formal readings of this motion to revoke probation? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, Your Honor.
In summary, this motion, sir, and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statements you make today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Lower your hand. This motion states that on March 9th, 2020, you were sentenced to 10 years in prison, probated for 10 years in this court for burglary of a habitation. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very interesting, just why that prior burglary was not included in the indictment and used as an enhancement. Does anybody know? Because that would have enhanced it to a first degree felony, but nobody really knows.
No, sir.
I can't speculate, Judge.
let's,
I think because they're
number three, let's go to number three.
conviction.
You provided a urine sample on or about April 27th, 2021. And I guess to the probation office
Yes, sir.
that showed benzodiazepines in your system, an illegal drug. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
4. On April 27th, 2021, it showed you provided a urine sample to the probation office, I presume, it's inferred, that showed the presence of methamphetamine in your system. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then back in jump to May 11th, 2021, this shows a urine sample showed methamphetamine in your system. Is that true? From a urine sample.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you pleading true? Let's just take those 3, 4, and 7. Okay. Are you pleading true to 3, 4, and 7 voluntarily? These allegations in a motion to revoke probation. You're pleading true voluntarily, and because those are true.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Do you understand by a plea of true, a knowing and voluntary plea of true to one or more violations of probation? Those are enough to grant a motion to revoke probation. Your probation can be revoked. In this case, you can be sentenced to no less than 2 nor more than 10 years in prison. Knowing that, do you insist on pleading true today?
Yes, Your Honor.
I find you were pleading true voluntarily. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading true.
Yes, sir.
An agreement is before the court where your probation would be revoked for these violations. And you would be sentenced to 4 years. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
4 years in prison. If I follow that agreement, you have no right of appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I showed you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1, most importantly at the bottom. That is a waiver of all appeal if I follow this agreement. Did you sign that and
Yes, sir.
are you standing by that?
So, Your Honor.
State's Exhibit 1 is made a part of the record for all purposes. And the agreement is that the defendant's probation would be revoked. He would be sentenced to 4 years confinement in prison. Anything else to add? State's Exhibit 1's made a part of the record. Anything to add by anybody?
No.
Okay. If not, I'm going to find that there is sufficient evidence supporting this motion to revoke probation to grant it by a preponderance of the evidence or greater, as allegations 3, 4, and 7 have been proven true beyond reasonable doubt, much less preponderance of the evidence. Your regular probation is revoked. You are now hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 4 years as the agreements provided for. You know, Mr. Caesar, you know what my feelings are about all of this. And you can't play both sides of the fence. A family is you go all in
Yes, sir.
for the family. You go all in for the rules. If you consider yourself a father and a parent and a husband, and you claim that you love and care for those families, you just don't talk about it. You have to show it. And you show it by the choices you make and the actions you take. I'm looking at a page full of mistakes that you made after you have made mistakes in the past. You don't use your family who rely on you as a lifeline to get yourself out of trouble. You have to be the one setting the example, Mr. Head of the family.
Sir.
or do them a favor, get out of their life. If you're going to be in their life, be the best person you can be to make them make the wisest choices so that they are successful in life. But I know this, children are going to follow what their parents do.
Yes, sir.
And it's just not your life. When you became a parent, you brought other souls to your chest. And the direction you had is going to impact their life and is going to affect and influence their life.
So,
Why don't you lead in the right direction so that they're not only proud of you, but they're proud of themselves because they can say, my dad made mistakes, he fixed those, and there's not a better person on this planet than him. You're going to have to earn that every day. Can you do that?
so,
We'll go and get it done.
thanks.
Okay. Anything else?
No, you're.
That is all.
Thank you so much.